Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Recalled, a Korean mystery thriller from 2021. Now our main character here is a woman, played by Seo Yea-ji, who gets into an accident, and when she wakes up, she doesn't remember much of anything. She has amnesia. Now thanks to the care provided by her husband, played by Kim Kang-woo, she is able to come home from the hospital, but she has seemingly gained the ability to see into people's immediate futures, especially the moments when they face dangerous situations. So this film kind of begins with our protagonist waking up in the hospital, and they don't really show you what happened before then, and that's where the mystery element comes into play. And she does not know what happened, but she realizes that for certain types of people, or certain people, I should say, including strangers, she can see when they're going to have a life-threatening moment in the future. And, her husband takes care of her during this time period, but because of the genre classification of mystery thriller, and the fact that her husband is kind of acting a little strange, you're assuming that he and perhaps some other side characters are withholding some important information from her because she doesn't remember what happened, and they might be trying to take advantage of her somehow. And that's where the mystery comes into play. So the premise of Recall actually did kind of remind me a little bit of the Japanese movie Premonition from 2004, a little bit. That was the one where the guy sees the flying newspaper of death, and that tells him when someone's going to die. On the other hand, Recalled is not a horror film, and there's no newspaper of death. Our protagonist simply sees visions of, things that might happen to these people. Now, this is a very slow burn kind of a mystery thriller. There are no big real set pieces or chase sequences or anything like that. So you do kind of need to be patient with this for a little while, especially during the opening half when it continues to set things up. There were a few stretches where I was kind of fidgeting in my seat a bit because I wanted things to kind of pick up. The good news, though, is that there are so many open questions that are kind of laid out to you and certain things that need to be explained that you start thinking of a lot of possible explanations in your own head while you're watching it. And that helps to keep you interested in what's happening here. I actually think the mystery components in this are stronger than the thriller elements. Now, I was hoping things were going to get really wild. Near the midpoint, I'm like, man, how wild is this movie going to get? Because it's still not giving you a lot of answers. But it doesn't get quite as crazy as I was hoping. But it does work. That's the good news. In some mysteries, the ending and the twists will just fall apart and make no sense. That's not really the case with this one. I think it does a pretty good job of making sense, and it has some good plot turns that I was not expecting. Even though I was able to predict a few things, there's a few things that I was kind of surprised at, and that's a testament to how nuanced the explanation is. It's kind of a multifaceted explanation, so it's hard to guess every aspect of it. So that's good. Also, the tone changes a little bit, the tone of the movie during the final act, and I was kind of a little surprised at that as well, and I thought that worked pretty well. So, nice little touch there. So even though the pacing is a little slow, it was a pretty satisfying experience when all is said and done. The Korean side cops in this, you'll have the main character who's trying to figure out what's going on, and then the cops will show up now and then. They actually do a pretty good job in this. They actually assisted the protagonist in some important ways, and kind of crazy, I know, but it does happen once in a while in Korean cinema, and it's nice when it does. So that's good. Also, I'm only partially familiar with the lead actress, Seo Yea-ji. I saw her in Warning, Do Not Play, and I remember her kind of doing a good job of holding that film together. In this one, her acting style is very vulnerable, and that kind of helps you get on her side as a viewer. So, her character is just as confused as we are as to what's going on, so it's easy to kind of sympathize with her. But I think, all in all, I enjoyed Recall. It's not extraordinary enough to be a newer classic or anything, but if you're in the mood for a slower burn mystery thriller, I think it's pretty good. I think it's currently available on a few different streaming sites. I want to say Amazon. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.